Hi, my name is Kristine Weber. Welcome to my weekly live stream. I love to help mature yoga teachers let their wisdom shine, and every week I give some little yoga tips. So that's what I'm doing today. I want to talk to you about your digestion a little bit and some of the tools that yoga offers. Actually, I'm just going to give you one specific tool today from the Taoist yoga tradition, which I started studying in 1989, actually, a long, long time ago. I was quite young when I started getting into this stuff, and it's something that I've done many like throughout the years. But the first thing I want to say is that digestion is a big problem for many people in Western culture. Part of that is because of our Franken foods. Of course, we have we have a SAD diet. Have you ever heard of the SAD diet? Standard American diet, right? It causes a lot of problem. The food that we eat causes a lot of problem, and the fact that the food is denatured. Those of you who've been out of the country, like to many other countries, almost every other country I've been to has better food, except for Mongolia, which had a lot of problems with obviously agriculture because it's so cold there. But they didn't grow. There weren't a lot of vegetables. But anyway, lots of other countries that I've been to, the vegetables are much tastier and fresher. And even the organic vegetables that we get in the United States are not the same that as you get in other places in the world. So in this country, we have a lot of problems because of the food supply. Now, all that being said, you're eating a clean diet, you're doing the best thing that you can. We can still help the digestive system. One of the things I've learned over the years is that it's not just about what you put in. It's about what's going on down here too. And sometimes what's going on down here is just the organs are kind of like they're shifted a little bit, or there's adhesions, or you've had surgeries. There's all sorts of reasons why things aren't working so well. And sometimes it can be mechanical. It's not just gut microbiome. It's not just what you're eating. It's not just your gut brain. It's the bacteria and then the nervous system. There's two different things. It's not just that. It can also be just like mechanical. And so the yoga tradition does a lot of stuff with massaging into the belly. We also use our exhale in the tradition that I'm trained in, which is, well, I've trained in many traditions, but in the Vini yoga tradition is the one that I kind of focus on the most. Um, there's a lot of use of the exhale to massage abdominal organs, and the movement of the asanas is often about massaging your abdominal organs. We think about yoga a lot of times as stretching, and then also we think about strengthening a lot, or sometimes. Mostly people think about yoga as stretching, but also strengthening. The thing we don't think about that much is what we're doing to the internal organs and compressing and massaging them. And that is happening in many, many yoga poses. And then we do lots of other things. All the category that's called the Agni Sara. Agni means fire, and Sara means cleaning. So the cleaning of the fireplace, and the fireplace is your belly. This is the kitchen. Your belly is the kitchen of the body. So anyway, there's many, many yoga practices. And today I was thinking, well, I want to show you something from stuff I learned a long time ago. And since I learned this technique, by the way, this is for the stomach and the spleen. Since I learned this technique, I have learned it in many different ways. So just like in the yoga tradition, the yoga from India tradition, there are many different schools and there's many different ways of approaching, although they're all kind of like climbing up the mountain from different directions. It's similar and very much similar in the Chinese system. So something that a lot of people don't know is that Mao Zedong systematized Chinese medicine. He created traditional Chinese medicine. He systematized all these very diverse schools. So, there isn't just one system. And similarly, in this practice that I'm showing you, I've seen different sounds. I've seen different hand positions, different visualizations. So people do things differently, and that is okay. It's nice to have lots of, I like to have lots to explore. Okay. So this practice is specifically for the stomach and spleen, which are pair meridians in the Chinese system, right? So the stomach meridian starts just below your eyes and it runs down your chest, and then it goes down the kind of the outer parts of the legs. And the spleen meridian starts in the big toe, and it runs up the insides of your legs to this area on either side of the ribs, right, and to the armpits actually. So this stomach and spleen work together in the Chinese system and are related to, and are responsible for digestion. They're also related to the earth element, which I think is so logical. It's like you take in the earth, right? Food is the earth. It comes from the earth. You take it in, you have to digest it and then let it go back to, let the waste go back to the earth. So our capacity to digest is also intimately linked to our capacity for digesting the earth, like the experiences we have, the situations we're in, the people we encounter, and the emotion that often accompanies a weak spleen and stomach is worry. I feel worried and anxious, and I can't deal with life. I can't deal with this world. And it's also so logical, I think. The color that the Chinese used for stomach and spleen, which is interesting because it's very similar to what the tantrics in India used for the earth element as well, is gold or yellow. And I like to think about it as sunlight reflecting off of wheat, a field of wheat. It's a very golden, yellowish, golden, beautiful color. And so that's a healing color according to the Taoist practices. I'll show you this in a moment. And you know, the thing is that Taoism, it's very much connected to Tantra. Tantra traveled out from India and back and forth, by the way. Like Sage Vashista traveled to India and China to India to China, you know, bringing the wisdom. So the word Tantra becomes Tauta, and then Taura, and then Tao, the Tao, right? So Taoist yoga is very much related to Tantric yoga, and you could even say that they, you know, share similar origins. Although some Taoists might not like me saying that, but but that's how I, you know, that's how I was taught. That's what I learned. Okay, so we're going to start this practice. Bring your hands right underneath your left ribs, and I am not mirroring you here. I'm touching my left ribs, and right underneath, hooking under there is where the stomach is, and the spleen, pancreas, right? Some systems say the spleen is meant to be the pancreas, actually, because that makes sense with digestion, right? More so than the spleen. Anyway, but the spleen pancreas is often called. So we're going to take a breath in. When you exhale, you're going to kind of hook your fingers just gently underneath there and lean forward a little bit. I'm just making sure you can see me. Let me back up a little bit. Yeah. So inhale, exhale, and lean forward a little bit. Okay. Now the healing sound is a whoo, like an owl, and it could be kind of deeper, whoo, that kind of sound. You can kind of find the tone that feels really kind of like you nail it for you. But the idea is that you let this whoo sound come out. And for some people, by the way, it's subvocal. Like you don't even, in some systems, you don't even make the sound. So you let the whoo sound come out. And what you're releasing is tension, worry, anxiety, toxicity from the digestive system. You're letting all that go. Okay, so we're going to do it 3 times. So take a breath in. And then sit up tall, breathe in. Do it again like an owl. Who sound like an owl. It's a little higher, that's okay. We'll do a little higher next time. Kind of have to find that resonance. And then you let your hands rest on your lap and just sit with the eyes soft or closed for a moment. Now you could do that many more times, but for our sake of time, I'm going to keep it kind of short. And the next thing that you do is visualize that beautiful golden healing light kind of spiraling into the stomach, spleen, pancreas area. You can keep your hands there if you want. Just spiral that light, like flood the area with beautiful golden yellow color. And then you bring gratitude to the stomach and spleen. Bring gratitude to your digestion. It's such an extraordinary process. So just flood your stomach and spleen and pancreas with gratitude for the work they do. And put a little smile on your face. There's all sorts of interesting neuroscience about how this is helpful. Smile on your face and smile at your stomach and your spleen and your pancreas and your whole digestive system, but mostly stomach and spleen. Like you're just bringing a sense of gratitude and gratefulness and I love you to these organs. And then you replace feelings of worry or anxiety with feelings of contentment and peace. The peacefulness of like walking through a gentle field, a path in a gentle field of wheat with the sun shining and the breeze blowing. Contentment. Unless you're gluten intolerant, maybe you want to imagine a different field. Something beautiful and golden. And that is it. Then you can just take your hands back to your lap. And that is the healing sound for the spleen pancreas. Hey, if you want to study with me regularly, check out the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society. We have a huge library, more than, I don't know, 120 classes that you will be welcome to explore. Plus, I do live classes every Wednesday. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next week. Lots of love.